thanks for checking back into our Traxxas TRX-4 Sport build project. This has been a lot of fun so far. What we're doing here is we're swapping out the stock parts for option parts available from Traxxas. Now today, we're gonna go ahead and work on our transmission. If you've missed the beginning videos of this series, make sure you hit up the description below. I'll have a list of the previous videos that we had for it. But today what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and swap out the slipper clutch plates. So what's in here now is a slipper pad along with some plates, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove that. We don't want to use the slipper anymore. We're gonna put these locking plates in there, so I'll show you how to do that. We also have the motor mount. This is an aluminum motor mount, and we have the blue anodized version. They have a couple different colors available, but we're outfitting this truck with blue, so I'm gonna show you how that goes in. And then if you watched our intro series, I told you guys in this particular video, I was gonna go ahead and put on these wheel hexes, but these really come later on down the road when I'm gonna work on the axles. That's a later video. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these stainless steel screws into the transmission as well. We've been putting those onto our truck throughout the build. And I'm gonna show you some additional parts that I got from Traxxas that are gonna be a part of this build, but you're gonna have to wait for that till later. So let's get started on this transmission. So first up, I gotta go ahead and take this top gear cover off, and that's going to allow me to take the motor out because it's kind of just floating in there right now. And so I'm going to go pop that off so I can show you how easy it is to swap out this motor plate. Alright, so pulling out the motor is pretty easy. Even if you have everything installed in the car, it's just a few screws to take the top cover off and you're able to slide the motor assembly out. Now, one thing to notice is if you're going to stick with the stock pinion gear, you want to notice that the pinion gear is flush with the motor shaft here. So we're going to take a 1.5mm hex driver next and just unscrew this so we can slide that off. There we go. And now we're going to take a 2mm hex driver and just pull the motor screws out. Now before you take the motor screws out, what you're going to want to notice is to match the pinion gear properly, you're going to want to see where they have it mounted. And that location is spot C, and that just ensures when you go put everything back together, the motor is in the proper position so you have the proper gear mesh. So I'm just going to take these motor screws out really quickly and swap on this new plate. Got the motor plate swapped out. That is one nicely machined piece of aluminum there. It looks really cool, and now we've got a solid mount for our motor. I did go ahead and put some stainless steel screws in there from our kit, and now it's time to move on to the slipper assembly. So what I'm going to do is I've got to take a 7mm nut driver and basically just unscrew the nut that retains the slipper assembly. So back off the slipper clutch nut, and then you're going to take the silver washer off. There we go. Take that off, set it aside, and then pull off the rest of your slipper clutch parts. And then we need to pop out the slipper pads. And they have this self-adhesive to it. So what you're going to need to do is take a flat blade screwdriver and kind of just pry it underneath this plate here. And it's going to take a little bit of time to pry it up. If you could work your way around and just kind of pop it up and out, it'll eventually come up, and then you'll be able to just keep sliding your screwdriver around and remove it completely from the spur gear. I've got the slipper assembly off, and now it's time to put on the new plates. And it does say on the new plates, this side out. And it's pretty important that you face the writing away from the spur gear because these plates are stamped. And if you put it in the wrong way, there is a slight chance that this might go and work its way out of the hex in the spur gear. So make sure you put that in properly. Slide one plate on, then your spur gear. Then you could slide your other plate on. There we go. And now we go and put that silver washer in, and then the 7mm nut, and we'll just tighten this all the way down. All right, so we've got our slipper clutch locked out. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and install the stainless steel screws from my stainless steel screw kit into the transmission. Then I'll drop it into the chassis. I'll show you what it looks like when it's all back together. All right, we've made some progress here. We've got the transmission back into our chassis. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I was going to go and put these hex hubs on. And well, it just doesn't make sense to put them in right now. So I'm going to show you some of the parts that I got from Traxxas that we're also going to install in this. This wasn't in the intro video. I also went ahead and got their machine gears for the axles. This is the standard replacement, but it is a machine cut gear. And then this is the underdrive gear. So some people wanted to know how the underdrive would work. So I'm going to do my best at the end of the video to go ahead and do a little bit of testing with this and kind of give you my thoughts on how the overdrive and underdrive gears feel in the truck as far as their performance goes. So that's going to come later on down the road, and I'm going to go install some of those with the axles. We'll talk about it more then. I also went ahead and got some of their gray shackles. I've got some red shackles on here, and they make these in all different colors, so you go ahead and customize the look. I also went ahead and got the stainless steel screw kit for the beadlock wheels, so we won't have to put the steel screws in there, which they're gonna get wet, so I don't want them to rust, so this stainless steel kit will work out a lot better. And then went ahead and got the aluminum pivot balls as well. That'll go and replace all the steel pivot balls throughout the entire kit. All right, so that wraps it up for today. Now you got a little bit more insight of what's going to happen to this project beyond what you saw in the intro video. Again, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's just really cool swapping out all of these parts and checking them out up close, and I can't wait to see this project all finish up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notifications bell, and we'll see you back here soon for some more RC Driver project videos.